Morning, everybody. Nice, cool, refreshing morning. Yeah, there you see the blue sky, but you probably also saw some clouds there too. The sun's been jumping in and out from behind those clouds, and one minute it's 60 degrees out, the next minute it feels like 70, 75. But it is going to be a great day. Refreshing for sure. Last night, wow. Another round of storms went through. Rain pounding down, lightning, thunder. Crazy. Had a lot of that lately. And thinking of storms, oh yeah, what was going on with those disciples? I mean, they just got done having a grand old time feeding 5,000 people, with a little help from Jesus, that is. And Jesus says, look guys, I came out here to have some downtime. I didn't get it because all these people followed me. Now we've sent them all off. You go off too. Get in the boat. Go to the other side of the lake. I'll catch up with you. Just go. So off they go. And yeah, they didn't have forewarned weather like I have on my phone. And it's a great little app. Tells you when the storms are coming. You can see just exactly where they're at. They didn't have that kind of stuff. They basically took a chance. Oh, they had some ideas on, well, maybe it's going to be okay, maybe it's not. But there they find themselves out, middle of the lake, being beat up by that storm pretty badly. And as the story goes, they see Jesus walking on the water to them. And some really cool stuff happens all through this story, but in the end, they're saved. They're saved. Now, what about this story? It's recorded in the Gospel of Mark and also in Matthew, and that's it. Just those two Gospels record it. But there's a lot more going on there than just the simple story of Jesus walks in the middle of a storm and they all end up okay. A lot more than that. And it's kind of cool when you see all this stuff happening. You have those disciples who are in the midst of a very traumatic moment in which they're going to die. Let's just put it that way. There's no way out of this storm. They're going down with the boat. They're going down with the ship. And there's Jesus walking to them. And they're kind of afraid what's going on here. See, water for the people in the Old Testament and in Jesus' day, water also had a symbolic meaning too, especially those choppy, stormy waters that they often found themselves in as fishermen. They signified absolute chaos. Chaos in the sense that there's nothing we can do about this. We're helpless. We're at the whims of whatever, whomever, and we just don't know what's coming next. Doesn't that sound a little bit like what we're going through right now as people all around this world? We just don't know what's coming next. Chaos. And there's Jesus who walks up to them on the water in the midst of that chaos. And this is what's really neat. He says, don't be afraid. It's me. It's me. Ego eimi in the Greek, and in the Hebrew that translates into I am. I am. Who is the great I am of the Hebrew Scriptures? It's Yahweh. It's Yahweh. Wow. God is with you. Don't be afraid. God is with you. Oh, what a sigh of relief that must have been for those disciples. Although, hey, it's still kind of stormy around us. What's that all about? When you read the story and when we hear it this Sunday, you'll notice the storm hasn't subsided. The storm is still raging on. There's still chaos all around. The difference now is ego eimi. I am. The great I am is with them. There's a little detail about this story that a lot of people miss. It's because our translators try to make it make sense, and I wish they would have just left well enough alone and left the word in there. And that is the boat. The boat they were in. Matthew, when he records his gospel, says the boat was being tormented. Tormented. The boat's being tormented. Now see, when you read the same story in Mark, it's the disciples who are rowing the boat. They're being tormented. But now it's the boat being tormented. Throughout the ages, right from the get-go, you know what the boat symbolized in Christian artwork? The boat symbolized us as a collective unit. We, the people of God, we, the church. We are in the boat with the great I am, with Jesus. Here it is. The boat is being tormented. All those disciples, as a collective whole, are in deep trouble, surrounded by forces they can't control. Again, doesn't this feel somewhat like that during this pandemic time? Okay, one other neat little detail of the story. Gospel of Matthew is the only one that records that Peter goes out. Peter takes a step out of the boat to meet Jesus. Peter, impetuous Peter. Peter, who later is going to deny his Lord because he's afraid of hanging on that cross right next to him. Peter, who reaches out in faith. Peter, who then begins to sink because he takes his eyes off of Jesus instead of keeping them focused on the one who is the great I am. There is so much going on in this story, and we'll talk about it on Sunday. But for right now, go ahead, pick up the Gospel of Matthew, read this story. It's right after the feeding of the 5,000, and you will see that it is chock full of good stuff for you and for me. Even in the midst of the chaos we find ourselves right now. In the meantime, go outside and enjoy the midst of beauty that's around us, and the cool, refreshing air, and the sunshine that's beginning to break through from behind the clouds again. It's going to be a grand and glorious day. Blessings be with you as you celebrate the great I am.